Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for another Rogue Royale update. For those of you who are new, Rogue Royale is our latest project and the first video game we are developing. I'm Jess, co-founder and art director here at Look Left Studio. Before we get into it, I wanted to provide a little background on how I got to this point where I have the great pleasure and privilege to develop my own game with Richard. I previously worked in architecture, which gave me the tools, critical thinking, and design skills to pursue game design. Architectural design and video game design share several similarities and overlaps, as both fields involve the creation of immersive and interactive environments. Some key similarities include spatial design, aesthetics, user experience, narrative and storytelling, technology integration, iterative design processes, and interactivity. While architectural design and video game design have these overlaps, they also have distinct differences. Architectural design is concerned with physical spaces in the real world, while video game design deals with virtual and interactive environments. Nevertheless, the interdisciplinary nature of design allows me to draw inspiration and insights from each of these fields. Something I've been trying to streamline for the efficiency of creating and animating characters for our game, and that I've discussed in my last devlog, is the process of creating a character, digitizing it, drawing different positions, and then creating sprite sheets for it. If you recall, I had decided that I was going to draw frame by frame each individual sprite in Adobe Illustrator. I quickly realized this past sprint why that would be an insane thing to do. For Rogue Royale, if we assume that we have 5 characters, which is the bare minimum number of characters that we want to have, and each of those characters have just 4 directions as opposed to 8 directions, and we have the basic animations for each character, such as idle, walk, run, slide, falling, death, and then the combat animations such as swing, punch, range attack, dodge, and dash. And just for simplicity's sake, we can assume that each animation has 6 frames, although it would differ. Then in addition to all that, multiply that by 5 because we want to give each character a unique set of skins. So now we're at 6,600 frames that need to go into our sprites. And to give you a comparison, the sprite I made last sprint that took me about 20 hours was only 133 frames. In this devlog, I'll take you through my journey to the process I settled on, what that process is, even if it isn't fully cooked, and I'll try my best to make it as digestible as possible. I want to give fair warning that I have not completely finished working out my process for this, and this is by no means saying that this is the best way to do it. But with my skill set and knowing what I need the character art to do, this is the best way that I've worked out to create the character sprites we need. From the last devlog, I've switched up my strategy for streamlined animation of our player characters. I've changed my process to include Moho, an animation software that uses vector and skeletal rigs to create movement. It's linked in the description below. I'm sticking to 2-dimensional art, but using Moho, even with its steep upfront cost, will save hours of work. In addition to Moho, I used Adobe Illustrator to sketch out some ideas and draw the character, and then Adobe Animate to place each of the frames from Moho onto a sprite sheet. I'll show you how I was able to build a sprite sheet in a few minutes as opposed to placing each individual PNG onto an Illustrator board. So let's get into the process. I made a huge mistake during the first few days of this sprint when trying to create my first 360-degree rig. Instead of stretching and moving the bones to the keyframes related to the rotation bone, I actually manipulated the geometries of the character. This is a problem because the bones that are related to those members don't move in a predictable way anymore. So fast forward to my second try at creating a 360-degree rig. I built it straight on, and I think that is the best way for me. I followed this tutorial by Joel Mayer titled Your First Time in Moho Pro, Creating a Character, Beginner's Tutorial. He walks you through animating a character without legs, so it's super easy and digestible. I'll link it in the show notes. Lastly, after finalizing my desired animation sequence, I exported PNGs and leveraged Adobe Animate to effortlessly arrange them onto a sprite sheet. The efficiency of this process in Adobe Animate is a game changer, saving me a significant amount of time. Initially, I was manually dragging and dropping and resizing each PNG in a time-consuming task. Now with Adobe Animate, I can accomplish this task within seconds. That wraps up the progress for this sprint. Get ready for some more exciting developments in the upcoming sprint, where we'll showcase a variety of animations beyond what you've seen today. I so appreciate you being part of this journey, and I'm wishing you an awesome few weeks ahead. Until next time, take care. Bye!